Yeah, now I can't make it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello. Actually, I'm gonna pose like this and say, "What happened last week? I've been sitting here frozen since last week. Where has everybody been? Hello, 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 Libby and Cassandra and Pat and Corolla. Hello, Corolla. I promise we are going to break out the Inktense. Hello, Elizabeth. And, when the power went out so unexpectedly last week, I thought it was just hilarious if I would open today, sort of frozen in position. Um, Hey, I'm trying to get rid of the. I'm trying to get my keyboard back. There we go. Uh, like I had never gone anywhere. Uh, anyway, this is what happened to that after I after the power went out on Sunday. I just kept on with it, and it's turning out nice. Yeah, I really like it. Hello, Melinda. How are you? It is lovely to see everybody today. And well, I try. But look, I wanted to share with you guys. Uh, I just, like I said, I just thought that was hilarious. Yes, I've been sitting here all week waiting for the power. It was actually out for about 7 hours after it just blinked off like that last Sunday. We were 7 hours waiting for it to come back. I sat here, it got darker and darker, and I finally lit a candle. And then I decided, well, I can't really work. The television's not working. I can't read. Um, it's too dark to draw. So I just gave up and went to bed. Okay, all right, no worries. See you when, yes. And that's really important because we don't want them having an accident in the middle of the show. And I'm sorry I sound a little hoarse today. I actually have been, it has just been miserable for me the last couple days, coughing and wheezing. So I finally turned the air conditioner up today, a couple of hours before the show, see if it would dry the air out enough so that I could get through the show without, sort of major coughing spells. For those of you who don't know, in the summertime, especially if it's very humid, I have a tendency to not keep my air conditioner very cold. I keep it about 80 degrees in the house. And, but this year I just have not been able to breathe. So I think that maybe I just have to bite the bullet and turn that sucker down to 75, which is what I've done. And, it seems to be helping. I haven't coughed in the last hour at least, so that's wonderful. Um, and hello to everybody coming in. I also wanted to tell you that I have made a great discovery. Now, I don't know about any of you guys, but a lot of times when it comes to brand name stuff, like Hewlett Packard ink, I have a tendency to stick with the HP ink. Well, I because it was so much less, um, and it guaranteed that it would work, and it had 800 positive reviews. I went ahead and ordered the ink cartridges for my printer from Greenbox, and it was literally the difference between a $60 package and a $25 package. So the Greenbox was $25, the HP was 60. This is the it's got the big cartridges, the ones that are extra full. They are, in fact, recycled HP cartridges. And, oh, let me catch that. Okay. Recycled HP cartridges, and that's the way my reads them. So you can trust the Green Box brand. If, see, I spoke too soon. If any of you have any questions about that, hang on 1 second. I'm going to mute you. Okay, I am back. Hopefully I can stay relaxed enough to keep those airways open. Yeah, so anyway, what I did was and hello, Shannon, and everybody who has come in. It's lovely to see you. I printed the new dragons out, so we can color one of them today. Oh, this is not going to be good, I don't think. I am going to try. At any rate, I wanted to go over this just a little bit. There is about a 2-hour video of how I colored this that I've been making all week. And so, do you guys want me to post it? It's kind of all put together, and it just covers the main areas. But if you think it's something that you would be interested in, it's going to take about 8 hours to render, which is why I haven't done it for now. But if you think you would like to see it, then I will go ahead and render it overnight tonight and post it tomorrow. But it really covers how I did all of the metallic elements of this to make it look like silver. And I think I've really taken some distance since we left it on Sunday. And okay, so I've got a couple of yeses. That's good enough for me. I will go ahead and render that puppy. I even made a mistake here, which I cover how to get rid of. These were originally blue, and I actually erased it out and changed them to grays. And once again, I'm telling you what, these deli pencils, I like these. I like these a lot. You know, you can do a lot with these. Not only do they color beautifully on this Create Space paper or the Amazon paper, but they erase well with just a regular eraser. Which is my sort of, I don't even remember. It's an off brand, but I have a gajillion of the eraser things. And I'm like, hello, Heather. Lovely to see you. Okay, well, in that case, I will, in fact, do that. I am going to, well, actually, I'm going to leave those for right now, at least until I'm done with it. So that one was in my book, Fabulous Flowers. And so we're going to work on one of the two dragons today. Now, this one is, of course, Creatures of Age and Wisdom. Both of these are in my Etsy shop. And before we go any further, let me put in a Easter egg for the Etsy shop. And that is a automatic 25% discount to anybody who is in the stream. And let me grab it really quick. And hopefully, I'm not positive about this, but I think that the Modernist Colorist is actually going to be posting a video sometime today. He said it wasn't going to be a live, but that it would be a new video of the studio, an unveiling of the studio. Hang on, copy and take that down and bring this back up. And oh, hello, Louise and Deb and Vicky and everybody who has come in. Hello, Connie. Oh, that's okay, honey. I'm just glad that you are here at all. Dropped by to say hello. I get it. Okay, there is the Easter egg. Sorry that took so long, guys. I had to go find it. And so I could do either one of these, either the Moon Gazer Dragon, which is kind of the one that I would like to do. I always tell you, oh, I will let you vote, but this is the one I want to do. Or the Creatures of Age and Wisdom. Either one is fine by me, really. Hello, Jane. Nice to see you. It is just so lovely to see everybody. And I have been out and about finally in some streams just this last week, and some outside of the ones that I've just never stopped going to, and it's been lovely. It's the reception has been wonderful, and and I'm feeling good about it. So I am just delighted to be back in the swing, back in the swing. The Amazon Basic pencils work best on Amazon paper, and I wonder if they formulated them that way. I don't think so, but that is an interesting idea, and I don't have those, and maybe I should look at getting a set, the Amazon Basics. And thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much. And resting after PT. Okay, well, good. How, sorry. How is that going, Tanya? Are you doing okay with it? And and yes, and I've had a couple of conversations with Melody. She lost her little Rex, and that is just so devastating to lose a fur baby, and especially one that you've had for so long and who has been your best friend. So thoughts and prayers. Hang on. To both Melody and Connie Ulrich, who also sadly lost little Oliver, who was her horned toad, or I don't think he's not a horned toad. I don't remember what he is, but he's a very cool lizard, and Dee Dee had actually done a portrait of him recently for her, and yeah. Now, Deb, I am struggling. I am really, really struggling this year with this, and I just don't know what is the deal. What is it about this year that's worse than any other year? Now, of course, this is the first year that I'm streaming and trying to deal with it, so it could be that the added issue of actually using my voice for the first time in 20 years on a regular basis. But yeah, I am so struggling, and it's a little on the scary side, sometimes. Not like rush me to the hospital scary, but more like just calm down scary. And then today the weirdest thing happened, right? I bent over to bring the aluminum foil out of, because I keep it in the bottom kitchen drawer, and I wanted to make some bacon, and I do that by lining a tray and baking it in my little toaster oven. And I bent over to get the aluminum foil, and the cat jumped on my back. Now, she has never done that before. And of course, my initial response was to try and stand up, and that just caused her to dig her claws into my back. So I quickly jumped down, and I actually had to let her jump onto the kitchen counter. Now, just like my desk, she is not allowed on that kitchen counter, and she knows it. And, she wanted that bacon though. And yeah, it's the heat, the humidity, and the mold. And it's just awful this year. And uh, and hello, Katie. Lovely to see you, my dear. I hadn't checked my email, so I didn't know if you'd be here or not. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, and the I am telling you what, though, she made it as far as the counter, and of course, I unceremoniously dumped her off onto the floor again. And I told her, I said, if you ever do that again, you and I are not going to be friends. I couldn't believe she jumped on my back like that. From a leap from the floor. It was just, I mean, I had to laugh, but boy, I'll tell you what, those claws are some serious business. Uh, and okay. And anyway, all right, so let me turn on my coffee thing so that I can get that heating, which always helps. And let's grab out, I believe I promised Corolla that we would use the Inktense. Now, Corolla just got her very own first full set of the Inktense. And so, Corolla, this one is for you, my dear. And hello to anyone that I have missed as well. Please don't take it personally. If I did not see your comment, please just put it again. And if you would like to ask me a question, there is a better chance that I'll actually see it if you put it in caps. If you can just pop it up in caps, that is wonderful. Otherwise, one of my mods will try and, grab my attention and make sure that I see it. And okay, so this is Moongazer Dragon, and he is new. He's in the new drawings section of my Etsy shop. He is destined, along with his big brother, and Owl and Sea Turtle, for my forthcoming Dragons book, which will be my 9th publication, but the 14th book. So because 2 of them, one's a travel size book, one is a best of book, and the other one is a Mandalist book. So, but he is destined for the next book. Now, the next book may not be all dragons. It may be dragons and flowers. So, but Inktense are the order of the day. And I want to start with the background. Because I want it to be a night, obviously this is the moon, and the moon in my world is sort of, in this world, is going to be sort of yellowish, because it has to be. And I'm also going to break out the white, because I think that between those two, we can get closer to a creamy color. And dragons and flowers would be awesome. Okay. Well, that's good, because I think it's going to have to be that way. For some reason, my dragon muse is hiding under the bed, and she wants to keep letting my flower muse out. But she seems to persist in hiding herself. So, all right, I'm going to just lay down some white. You won't be able to see it, but you'll know that it's there. And then I'm going to lay down some yellow. Realizing that this also is probably very difficult for you to see at this particular point in time. Now, out here, I am also going to lay down some white. Now, this is probably an exercise in futility, laying down the white outside in the ring, but it's going to make me feel better. I'm probably going to end up having to put that glow around the moon in, though, with pencils. Okay. Of course, I have a variety of water brushes, and I'm going to choose the wrong one the first 2 times, and then I'm going to get the right one. So hopefully that will lighten that yellow up just enough. Now, I did print on 110-pound cardstock, which is this Georgia Pacific premium hardstock, or premium cardstock. I get this over at Walmart. It's about, I don't know, $6 for a ream of 150 sheets, 92 bright white. It's $1.99, I'm guessing GSM, and otherwise 110 pounds. And I really, really like it for doing Inktense work on. Okay. So somebody's going to pick them up. Yeah, it is good paper for markers. And sorry, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the chat. Okay, so I've also got the white out here. I am just going to activate it just so it's there. Not that I expected to do anything at all. Okay, so now I can move on to working on the dark. I have been I've been trying to look at moonlit items. So I know that once I get to this guy, when I decide what color he's going to be, I'm going to end up employing the white Uniball or a white Posca to put moonlight on the face of him. But I have been a little unclear as to what color I wanted to do the night sky. But I think that the deep indigo is probably going to be the way to go. Either that or the navy blue. But I think the deep indigo is probably the key. So I don't think I've ever used that deep indigo. So it's looking brand new in there. So let's try it. Now, y'all know that I like to lay down. I probably use way too much pigment, but I like to lay down a nice, smooth layer of the pigment. Actually covering the page as opposed to, dragging it over from somewhere else. And I can go lighter at first and then add dark as the case may be. So now I'm just going to get kind of rough with it as far as adding some darker down here because I want to lighten it up toward the bottom. So darker up here. Trying to leave that space around the moon. That I can tweak in later. And this would probably be easier to do with watercolors or even on a pad, you know, a plastic palette. But, and I have the travel set that I could make a dark blue to go in here. Or I could color it in black. You can do whatever you want. You know, when you're working with it, the only thing that ever holds any of us back is our own imaginations. So let your imagination fly. If you want a purple sky or a yellow sky or an orange sky or whatever sky you want, that is what you should go with. Whatever vision you see. No right, no wrong. Just your choice. Because it's coloring. And we want it to be fun. Okay, so now I am going to step down into a slightly lighter blue from the indigo. And I think that I'm going to make that this, you know, I think I'm going to go all the way down to the iris. At least for right now. The iris blue, for some reason, well, you know what? Maybe we'll go, ooh. Maybe we'll go deep violet and then mauve, closer to the ground. Would that be pretty? I think that would be pretty. Let's go deep violet and then mauve. There I am with those colors again. Hey, it's my world, and I can create it any way I want. There's the deep violet. And there is the mauve. So do this. Oh, it's so lovely to see everybody. Hello, Gary, and all the people who are here. Thank you so much for coming. It is just so delightful to see all of you. And you know, and I've encountered so many wonderful people this week. And I have been really trying to make that video ever since I started that within just because the power went out. I woke up at around, I don't know, let's see, it went out around 5 here. I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning and it was back on. And so I started to make the first segment of the continuation of that video, that literally right then. And I have been filming it in tiny little segments all week. And it's like my little editor is going, how many segments are you going to put in here, Christine? Because then, of course, every time I make a cut, there's another segment. So anyway, it's pretty funny. But it is looking good. For anybody who missed it, um, this, of course, is the picture we started last week. And I got as far as working a little bit on this flower. I'd gotten this done and that done. And I was working on this and the power went out. So everything else has been done this week on video. So at least you'll be able to see how I did that. If you want to watch it, I'm certainly more than happy to put it up. Okay, so now I'm gonna, no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just mixing up my colors. And going for it. Hello, Susan Wilkes. And welcome, welcome. New subscriber. Yay. Mom Wilkes is subscribed to my channel. That's so kind of her. Okay, now we are going to go back to the iris blue. And was that not wonderful that Sammy hit 8,000 subscribers this week? I am just so thrilled for her. She deserves every single accolade. That girl is so talented. And did anybody watch Dee Dee's Hobby Lobby trip again? She did it in 2 parts. Oh, it was just great. I kept hoping that there was an outlet, though, in the back of that Blick store, but I guess there isn't one in the Atlanta Blick. But she put her hands on a couple of things that I have definitely got my eye on. Just handy things like, some of those sketchbooks that she was looking at that are custom made for people that, because if I do any more mandalas, half the time is in the setup of the grid so that I get everything perfect. I mean, the creativity is all mine, but the lines are all mathematical and those never change. Angles just don't change. Degrees don't, circular arcs don't change. Those stay the same no matter what. Okay, I like that. So let's take the big brush and apply some color and see how we did. Hello, Susan, and hello, Darla, and hello, Jo Beth, and wow, it is so wonderful to see everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. We are coloring today with Derwent Inktense and on a dragon that I drew for my next book, but that is currently available in my Etsy shop. And so that the new people don't have to scroll back, here is an Easter egg, which entitles you, if you use that link, to a 25% discount off on anything in my Etsy store. And that, not only this drawing, but all the books and all the other drawings that are in there. Now, I am going to be revamping the store somewhat, and because I have some things that I'm paying listing fees on that really never sell individually anymore because I built them into so many other value added kits and things. So I am going to be taking some of those out, which basically means that instead of, buying it in one set, one drawing, you'll be able to buy that same drawing, but in a set of 5, along with 4 other drawings. So all the drawings will still be there. They'll just be paired with their natural mates. Because I almost always draw things in sets. So this is just the first layer. I am an Inktense layerer. I like to layer my colors and blend them in together. And basically color map with them. But I just thought it would be fun today to start with the background. Oh, hello, and thank you. Should probably move that. It used to be that was a game. And I used to love to sit here and see how many times during a stream that cash register would cha-ching, but I think that's just, probably just feeding my ego, which is always nice to do, but really is not necessary. Oh, and then I actually got to see, she's such a talented artist, and yet she's so quiet about it. I saw Laura Rafferty's channel. Of course, I'd been a subscriber for a long time, but for some reason, I did not have the bell rung, and so I went over, and of course, there's just a gajillion videos over there, and in addition, of course, being a talented painter, and her coloring books that she's drawn, or I guess in addition to being a talented colorist, I did not realize that she's actually a painter and not a coloring book artist. And but boy, that is sure evident in the very first. She showed us her very first coloring page that she'd ever done, and it looks like a master did it. It's like, yeah, there's somebody that knows something about color and how it works. I am just learning how color works. She is an amazing artist, and she's a nice person too. And that is always such a delight to find. Because believe it or not, there are some artists out there, especially in my artist group that I belong to. And you kind of go, okay, yeah, you might not want to, take that attitude out in public. Jeez. Oh, there it is. Thank you. You just made my day. Whoever you are, you just made my day. Thank you. So this is really this is really easy for me to see, but I'll bet it's hard for you guys to see under this bright light. I get the white balance right to keep the focus, but then it's awfully bright for all of you. So I apologize. Hopefully, we are maintaining good focus. And thank you, Joe Beth. That is lovely that you favorited the shot. And and thank you. And yes, Laura is awesome. And okay, Loretta. Let's see. And a kid. Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. She is very young. Yes. Well, Bessie, but she's very smart about it. I mean, she's very, very smart about it because she has never quit her day job, which is always, it's. I really didn't have a choice about the day job thing. So for me, it is a little different. But but I realized that I missed a whole area in here. Uh, so I don't know. I don't think I could go back to real estate law. I just don't think I could do it. I just don't have it in me anymore. I would get annoyed at some realtor. For trying to sell somebody too much house or, something like that. Because I got out of it just at the time when we started to see just people losing their life savings and because they'd lose their house because they didn't understand the mortgage documents that they had originally signed and why their payment was going up to something that they could not afford. It's just tragic. Of course, one of the things also that made me want to leave is they tried to make escrow officers and the staff in our attorney's offices agents for the Homeland Security thing with the Patriot Act. And I was like, no, time to get out. Perfect excuse, time to get out. I am a person who believes in civil rights. And I would rather not give up my rights, even if it means I risk my personal safety. But that's just me. I did, Katie. I got out right at the right time. Okay, so now that is the first coat, and that will do to sort of get us started on where we want to go. And it also tells me that will help inform me as to what colors I want to make the dragon. I think the dragon needs to be green. Now, but I'm always willing to lesson. if you guys have an idea of him being a different color against that background, and maybe if we make him green, we could make this. Well, we could go traditional and do like yellow with like red tips or something like that. And of course, we have that looks more like a sun right now, but it will look like a moon, hopefully. Yes to the green. Okay, I like the green. I like the idea of the green. Now, I did also, I wanted to try an experiment on this. Can we try an experiment? I wanted, because I want to see how Inktense acts over alcohol marker. Ooh, how's that for a concept? So I was going to use this anise, which is a G902 in the CLALidridges. And see if, I think, what did we say, G902? There it is. And every time I open this, I say, thank you, Melinda, because Melinda was kind enough to gift me this set of wonderful CLAladridges. And I absolutely adore them. So I want and I'm just going to go over, now I'm going to go over the whole guy here, except maybe not his eye. Although I could probably go over his eye. But I want to just go over it because I want to see how Inktense acts on top of alcohol marker. I don't think it will act any different than it does on the regular paper. But we're going to find out. And if worse comes to worse, I'll have to do the dragon in the markers. But I kind of like the idea of how fast it is to do the alcohol marker and then do the details with the Inktense. And this will also answer the question of, will Inktense work over an alcohol marker? And you know me, I'm all about the experiment. And I that's the way I am, Joey. Don't protect me out of my rights. It's choice to search people. Physically search people before they get on an airplane. It's their private business. They are allowed to do it. I don't have to fly. And so consequently, I don't. If I had an emergency and I had to get on an airplane, I certainly would. That is something, entirely different. But as a general rule, I don't fly anymore. Not because I'm afraid, but because I will not subject myself to a search. And not because I have anything to hide. Just because it's my right to say no. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to cough again, and I need to go blow my nose very quickly. I'll be right back. Oh. Okay, that's better. Thank you for your patience. It had gotten to the point there where I could not breathe. Okay. So we've got that. Now let's try. Put that over there. Let's try to add some green. Look up the Inktense swatches and decide what greens we like. So I kind of like the fern green. So let's find the fern green. It's always the last one I put my hands on. Okay, so there's the fern green. And the light olive for, let me go with the felt green and the beach green. Let's go with the felt green and the beach green. So there's the felt green. And there is the beach green. So we may change this up, but let's see. Okay, so the fern green is an olivey green, and that is sort of the color that I had pictured for the outside edges where the moonlight would be hitting him. So the tops of his knees, probably the crest of his little snout, and a little mouth, the top of his curl, because we can always make this gold as well. And that's true. That could happen. That absolutely could happen. That you could just skate through and have no problem at all, and that would be absolutely the case. But of course, it would be my luck that I'd be the random one selected, and it isn't that I don't particularly have any objection to being touched or anything like that. It's more of it's the principle of the thing. I don't argue with their, I mean, obviously, once again, if I had to fly, I would subject myself to it with no question whatsoever. If I needed to fly somewhere, if my best friend were sick or there was an emergency, back, I say back home, but there isn't anybody back there anymore except her. And she'd be the only one I'd do it for. That I would actually get on an airplane for. Otherwise, I'll plan it and I'll drive. Because I like to drive. It's a principle of the thing, For me, anyway. I'm going to lose my highlights if I'm not careful here. because I'm going to end up doing these in white. So maybe I'll see where we are by adding just this for right now. Wrong brush. And oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question, Heather. How did that go? Seeing if Inktense act any differently over the alcohol markers. Ooh, actually, I think I kind of like it. And when you break it down, it's ink on ink. Let's see here. Where is my little... Yeah, guys, I've lost my plate with my... Oh, I know where the plate is. It ended up under a candle. Oh. I ended up using the plate under a candle. All right. So I've lost my plate. Oh, no. Which means it's in the bathroom. Because I had to take a candle in the bathroom last week when we lost the air or lost the power. Thank goodness it wasn't hot that day. Because otherwise we would have been without air conditioning too. That's what I wanted right there. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a foible. My nephews think I'm crazy. Of course, they've always said I'm crazy, so because they just, they fly everywhere. But they also fly first class for the most part, so. The boys do at any rate. The wives all seem to end up traveling coach. Well, they all travel coach when they travel as a family. When the boys are traveling for business, they travel first class. I've got to fly first class once. It is way different than flying coach, I can tell you that. Okay. So that is a decent start on that. Let's see, grab some more of this. Come in on this side. Probably could use a little more on this edge. Remember, even if you get shading wrong, a little shading is better than no shading. Okay, so now on these, I do want him to have very green. So I'm going to lay down a fairly decent amount along the ridges of his wings. Aha. See, I colored that yellow and it's supposed to be blue. Let's see if we can fix it or if it's just going to end up being green. Need my indigo blue. Yeah, the deep indigo. See this area right here? I colored that yellow as if it was a piece of his wing. And it's actually a piece of the sky. So this is where we're going to find out if we can actually change a color. Or if it's bound and determined to be a weird shade of green. Maybe we can even just bring a little bit of it over here to maybe lend it a little bit of continuity and balance it out. I don't know, maybe we'll, when we darken all this up, we can probably fix that. You got the very excellent watercolors, and you showed a few shows back, or that I showed, and you have swatched them and not colored with them. Oh, you are absolutely welcome. I am just so thrilled with those. If you guys don't know what those are, I'm going to show you. They're called the Pretty Excellent Watercolors. This is the swatch. This is the box. It looks very similar to, yeah, they do look very similar, don't they? And this is them. And they are under $20. And they are absolutely amazing. Full-size pans, or, you know, full-size, they're full-depth half pans. So that is a lot. It's a lot of paint. And I've worked with these a bunch of times, and they just keep giving us great results. So, Elizabeth, I could not be more thrilled. Thank you. Happy to be an enabler. Okay. And let's see here. Let's give this a little whoosh. I'm just going to bring down a little wet in the middle of these. And then activate the Inktense. And just let it flow in along the if I had to say, it seems like the having the alcohol marker underneath makes them float a little longer. You know what I mean? It makes your because normally this paper is so absorbent that you have to work with your Inktense so quickly to be able to get to move them around. And this seems to delay that process just a little bit. Having them over you can plainly see that I should have put it down both sides, because what's happening is I'm sort of losing the center one as I'm dipping further into the one on the other side. So I'm learning for the next side. Oh, I love Inktense. I just love Inktense. Once again, this is just a first layer. We're just establishing color. For those of you who've seen me work before, you know that it looks nothing like it will when it's finished. Hopefully. That does just sort of help establish that first little bit of color. And oh, I just wanted to say, Susan Wilkes, I do not know if you are still here, but I wanted to say a hearty thank you so much for coloring the art of my dear friend Susan Curry over this last week. Mom Wilkes did two of, I think she might have done more, but two of the pictures from Sue's book Little Sister, and or The Adventures of Little Sister, and that is hang on one second. That is this book right here. And Susan Curry is a friend of mine and a fellow artist, and this is her second coloring book, and it is just adorable. It's got a story. It was for her constructed basically from the memories of her own little sister, and it is just full of adorable images and memories from her childhood of going to the movie. I think Susan Wilkes did this one and one other, and in a couple of Sue's books. Sue now has like 5 books out. So, and her walkthrough videos are actually in my playlists as well, because I'm sort of the person who advertises for her. She is 75 years old now, or 74 years old now, and so she doesn't really do. She draws, but she won't do the promotion. So I do her promotion for her, and she's very talented. So if you are interested in her art, please leave me a comment as well. And then the videos, like I said, the videos are in. I think it's celebrating artists. Is what is the name of the playlist. Seems hard to believe we are almost. Well, not quite. Seems hard to believe it's already the 11th of August. Seems like it was just yesterday. Sorry, that it was the 1st of June. I agree, Barb. I agree. And she is such a nice person. She really is. She was the person responsible for me actually publishing my first book, as far as she wouldn't let up on me until I did. Did you draw today? What did you draw? Well, let me color it. She is one of three people, actually, one of more than three now, because I think you might be one of them, Barb, uh, that has literally bought and colored every page I have ever made. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm liking the way that kind of does the sort of foldy thing, the way that that's looking. I think I'm going to be really happy with the way this one turns out. I'm just thrilled. I finally had enough in the budget to get ink. Yay! You notice I've been coloring in my books for, you know, for months now. So it's just lovely to be able to print something out. And now this month's guest artist is going to be Tatiana Bogema, because I can finally print her work. I think I own every book she's ever drawn, but I own them all in PDF. Okay, and so Carola, I am just so excited for you to have your own Inktense, and I can hardly wait to see what you do with them. Okay, I'm liking it. Yes, yes, Susan Wilkes. Yes, we are talking about Sue Curry, my friend Sue Curry, who is just the loveliest person. And okay, now I got to do something with that tail, don't I? Well, we'll work on that. And maybe we'll give it a little zhuzh right now. Go with the fern. Because we're going to end up, this is not obviously the final color, or the final, even the final highlight color of this, but it gives us a basis. Ugh. Easy for you to say, Christine. Basis. How come it is that I can say words like 'twas brillig in the slithy tove', but I can't say simple words. Okay. So now we need a color for our flower. I'm thinking orange. Thinking it's got to be shades of orange. So I'm going to start with a golden yellow. Of course I am. Because if you are going for orange, you always start with golden yellow, right? So we'll go with the, plus I love golden yellow. It's a color that makes me happy. Absolutely makes me happy. And it's the perfect choice for this, I think. Is it Classic 3 is out? I have Classic 1 and Classic 2, and I love her classic art. I really do. I mean, I like the Little Town books, definitely, but her classic art is it speaks to me on a different level. It's like Rob Roscom. Some of his art I like. It's cute, it's whimsical, and some of it is just stunning. I mean, just absolutely stunning. So he colored one of my pictures once. Guy's got some coloring mojo too. Believe me. Ay, ay, ay. Of course, for that matter, so does Jason Hamilton. Jason colored a couple of my pictures too, and I just was like blown away. All right, I like that. Now we're going to step that down into a I'm going to go with the burnt. Excuse me. Underneath in these ones that are actually sort of undershadowed. And we'll see how that goes for a first level. I'm going to actually pop you down here. At least that one. Is it still marker bees, Katie? Okay. And let's see. Okay, good. So I'm going to start down here. And just get those in. And really what I'm doing is I'm testing that color to see if I like it. It blends beautifully. So let me use it to do the ends here. And I'm trying to think of shrimp. Excuse me. sure that I have something interesting I could talk about. I just can't think of what it is. So I'll just talk about coloring, which is always an interesting subject for me. Seeing all the different ways that things are colored, all the different mediums that there are to color with. So, oh no, Gary, you ate all the snacks. Oh, I need some snacks. Gary, bring back some snacks when you come. Uh, okay. And we need some green down there in this stem. I think I'm going to use the, I think for cohesiveness, I'm just going to use the fern for right now, just as a holding space. So that we've got some color going on all the way around. Gary? Oh, Gary left. Gary's BRB. Come back, Gary. When Gary comes back, somebody scream at me so I can ask him if he has any further updates on what Deb is going to do. Deb has not given up. He's not gone away. He is coming back. And I'm not going to guarantee it until it actually happens, but according to the rumors, he is. Okay, and oh, I like that. I like that color. I like that color with this, the way that it flows with this. Um, I'm just wondering who the poor guy was for, Deb. I want ice cream. Oh, well, Melinda, you haven't missed anything for about the last 2 months. There just hasn't been anything. Um, first he got, first we had all the stuff that we had to deal with. And then, thank you, whoever that was. Thank you, thank you. And, next came the accident where he got hurt. And, so that stopped him. And, then whatever happened last week, um, and, but I know he and Gary have been putting together the new studio. The furniture for it arrived and the bookcases and things like that. But before you can organize something, you have to first tear it apart. And so I know that they had a heck of a time with all of the books that were out off the shelf. And if anybody, Dev's got hundreds of books, hundreds of coloring books. He has been collecting coloring books for quite a while. And he doesn't collect them by the one or twos. He collects them by the boxful. So I like this. I like this color scheme. These flowers make me happy. I love yellow and orange daisies. How can you look at a Gerbera daisy and not be happy? Do you? Okay. I'm sorry. Yep, the buffering is most often a bandwidth issue. Um, I have found that it really helps. I buffer in DD Stream all the time, and I end up having to hit refresh at least 2 or 3 times per stream. I had to do it in Sammy's stream yesterday too. I just think it's amazing that there's technology that allows stuff that I'm doing here in Virginia to travel over the world in real time. It's just amazing. Of course, remember that, I started working in an office before FedEx. There was no such thing as overnight mail service. Unless you actually hired a courier and put them on an airplane. All right, now I'm going to use this. This is the burnt orange again, and I'm using it here to just cover that space. I'll probably end up darkening it to some kind of a darker brown in this area between the. But for now, this will do as a holding to just make sure that I've got this space covered. And we can probably use something along the lines of let's try a saddle brown for the center. And I could put little black dots on it, like little seeds. We'll wait and see if we need that after we color in the dragon's claws. Uh-oh, daisies. That's weird. For the 3rd time. Is anybody else having buffering issues? It looks like it's fine from this end. Thanks, Deb. I appreciate that. And I love my little moon gazer dragon. Okay, now we can do some moony details. Like, for instance, we can, and now I'm just going to pick up some pencils because I happen to have some of these deli pencils here, and maybe put in a little bit of the face that's in the moon. Actually, I don't think you can see that. I can see it, but I don't think you can. because it's a very subtle effect. Let me see if I can unsubtle it for you. These be moon craters. Go a little less subtle. And yeah, that's too many. Eek, eek, eek. All right, so now we're going to round those out a little bit. Maybe elongate that one. Got the lightest gray. It really is too many, but what the heck? There's nothing says that this has to be Earth's moon, right? It could be somebody else's moon. So now I've got my Inktense antique white. If I want to dull those down, I can just go right over them with the ant white. And actually activate that. And then when it dries, they should be just a little bit duller. And if not, well, then we'll go over them with some white deli pencil. But we can also make this glow a little bit with pencils as well. Okay, oh, sorry. Wait a second. All right. Deliver the message clearly and concisely because the hostess needs clarification. She does not quite get the message. I thought he said he was doing a pre-record. Is he doing a physical? Is he going to do live? Or is he going to do a pre-record? Because I thought you were helping him with the pre-record. Now I'm totally confused. I'll just wait for the answer. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the answer like all of you. Gary, come back. Tell us what's happening. All right, I need to do something with the details on this because that's going to bother me. I now have so many pencils out, I no longer know what I'm doing here. All right, this is the beach green. So I am going to add a little bit of the green, the beach green. And now I'm going to just do a little bit of the water on that and just let this sort of flow into it. Just pull it down just a little bit. To try and make it appear like it's scales. Well, that's good because he's not on 20 minutes. Tell him if he streams over me, I will be mad. Although no one owns the schedule, that would be rude. Just kidding. Okay, now mostly because I want to be there. If Deva's going to stream, I want to be there. I'm dying to see this new studio. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with the way that this chess piece is turning out. I think that I used too much pigment. I think it might have been better if I put it on the brush first before I, rather than putting it directly on the paper, or I worked it down too far. And if that's the case, then I could just darken it up along those lines and sort of restore the balance of it that way. Okay, Katie, Ian has been binge watching the X-Files. Ooh, the X-Files are so good. They are that was such a good show. I miss that very much. Okay, he needs an eye color. I want to make him, he is a green dragon. Can we give a green dragon purple eyes? Make the chest plate darker. Okay. I can do that. I have to let it dry first. All right, so make it darker. You mean all over darker? And Roz, bright blue eyes. Bright blue eyes would work. Why not? He's a moongazer dragon. So let's try the bright blue. There's even a color called bright blue. Oh, I like that. Wait, I like that. Excuse me. Okay. So now he has bright blue eyes. And I can make the, yes, this is true. We do, however, need to hold the black pencil because this is so much easier. Excuse me. Okay, now no, we're going to leave that for final shading. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Ooh, sorry about that. My airway pretty well shut down on me. Okay. So I'm back and breathing. Trying to decide what to do with the horns. And I mean, obviously, there's just so much work to do on it, but I don't really know what I want to do next, given the time frame that I've got. So, to the outside of now, it's okay if it's darker, because I will be adding some moonlight to it with the white pen. But for the most part, it's going to be pretty dark along the outside edge. And I want these to appear like they're made out of excuse me. One second. I have been fighting this all week. Oh, I'm getting kind of tired of it. Okay. So let me try this. Overall, I'm happy with the colors. And I want these to look like emeralds. You know, like sparkly emeralds. Louise Art Color. Is that oh good. Louise, if I don't already follow you, I will by the end of the day. I think I might already follow you, though. I think I just went over 1,000 IG followers, as a matter of fact. I'm thrilled. And then I think I follow about 1,500 people. It's a lot. I know that. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that color scheme. I do like that color scheme, but I need to figure out what to do with the dragon. You need some more dark color. Some more of the olive green or the fern green down here. And so, Deb, you really think darker? Obviously, darker contrast in the scales, but you think a darker color altogether. Joey, I remember back in the day, not that long ago, that my dear friend Carol said, "Oh, you have to get on Facebook." Because I was not on Facebook. She wanted me to play Farmville with her. Excuse me. And and if I could go back and do it again, Joey, seriously, only YouTube. That's all you need. Yeah. And okay, well, all right. I agree. Yeah, the whole thing needs more shading. It's nowhere near done. This is just the first layer. You know how I work, Deb. It needs a little more right now. So let me do that. let me go with my vision, and we can always go darker. Okay, that is not a problem, because what happened is I washed out all the darkness. I took it too far down the scales. So let me restore it by putting it back. So this is sort of what I was thinking. And usually, at least I think, usually the underbelly is lighter or whiter in a lizard, isn't it? And I mean, basically, a dragon is just an overgrown lizard, right? Or did I just speak sacrilege? I am a dragon lover, but it is, in fact, an overgrown lizard. Uh, yeah. Isn't it? I think it is. Um, and all right, so let me do this and keep it tighter in. And see if I can't dispel some of the angst that my friend Deb is having over this center panel. I can make it dark if you want. I can. And I can make this come down even further. And I've only left the tail of his back spine light like that because it just gives me a balance or an idea. It's not its final color yet. So that's a little closer to what I was thinking. But it could be darker, lighter, more golden. Because see, I still have the dark to put on here. Because this is I've only just started shading this part. All of this is sort of away from the moonlight. It was just sort of setting in some initial color. Bye, Heather. Okay. No, dragons are way cooler than overgrown lizards. Okay. Got it. That is actually true. Dragons are cooler than overgrown lizards. But overgrown lizards are pretty cool. Komodo dragons and just sort of adding some colors in here. See how we can do. Yeah, when I color, I literally work it in just little bits. I look at it and I'll color a little bit on it and then I'll push it away and I'll study it. And then I will, whatever the next thing is that it tells me that it wants, that's what I'll give it. But it's like when I'm working on a new drawing, I do the same thing. I'll put in an element that I think I'm going to like, and then I'll add it and then push back and study it for a while and see if that's really what I wanted to do or not. And because oftentimes that study will suggest the next thing that it wants. And so that's how I let my drawings speak to me that way and let my colorings speak to me the same way. Oh, I'm getting close to I'm gonna have to sharpen that, and that's gonna just break my heart because I hate to lose pigment on these things. I'll have to wait until I have something green now that needs to be colored with this darker color. This is very dark over here because it's furthest away from the light. So I know that that is going to be a very dark area. And this is why I wanted to leave this strip light down the center, because I knew that I was going to be making everything around it so much darker. Because I could always make it darker too. So we're adding a little texture in as we go. Here. And I like the way that it's sort of adding these little streaky things in there. Now that is only the second layer. Once again, we're still nowhere near done. But I am at 2 hours. And so I'm guessing, Gary, what is the deal? Is Deb streaming, not streaming? Can he get on? Can he not get on? Should I get off? Because I've been operating under the assumption, because the last he said is that it was not going to be a live today, it was going to be a pre-record. So that is how I worked my schedule. But I'm at 2 hours and can easily go. Hello, Cherry Ann Brown. How are you? And Cherry Ann, do me a favor, ask Jack if he has been sending me messages that I have not answered. I've been getting messenger messages from Jack, but I don't think it's him. I think it's somebody trying to spam or trying to spoof me or spoof his account. And so I've been ignoring them. But if he's actually trying to reach me, then I will be happy to do so. But he and I are friends and should already be connected on Messenger. Okay. So, and so everybody knows Jack is Jerry Ann's husband. And, okay, so now it could work a little bit more on the flower, but I'm waiting to find out. Okay, don't think he can get on. Okay. All right. Well, I like I say, I don't want to prevent him because, I know the kind of guy he is. He will just not stream, and then later I'll hear that it was because I was still on, and so he didn't even try. And so I don't want that to happen because he's just too damn nice for his own good sometimes. Tell him to be mean. Get off, Christine. Get off. I want my chance. All right. Now I'm actually gonna color in the little toenails. Just because I'm right here, I have this black in my hand, and it'll work to color in the little toenails. Okay, excuse me. And thank you, Jerry Ann. Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's decide or choose. We never decide because side is the side suffix means that you no longer have a choice to choose something else. If you decide it, it's a done deal. If you choose it, you can choose again. So I need to make this a different color. And I need to make that a different color. So what about blue? Can we give him blue fins? And to match his blue eyes? Maybe? I don't know, he's missing something. He's missing something and I want him to have it. So let me try this. Let me try light blue. But it may be too late to go light blue. I don't know that we pull off light blue, but I think we might be able to pull off mallard green. We're going to try it. And I'm really just using a hint of it along there. And I'm going to also use a hint of it here. Just go with me for a second. It's an experiment. The worst thing that can happen is it can fail. But I just sort of want to add just a hint of that blue-green in there. I think that'll be pretty. I think that'll be so pretty. No water brushes. Wait. Where are they? Always darkest before the dawn. Oh, guys, I'm liking it. I am liking it a lot. Now I'm going to have to bump that contrast again. That's okay. I will take that. Okay. Now we'll let that dry and see what that does. I like the concept of changing that to a bluey green down the center, because then it makes me want to add some blue green out here in this leaf as well. I like that. Okay. Yay, we are cooking with gas now. Okay. And put it in along out here. And also just a hint in here as well. And see how light really, really light. And only on one side. I don't want to overpower it. I'm holding it way back, so I'm not getting very much pigment on. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm liking it. Okay. Liking it, liking it, liking it. See what I mean about how I just keep working it and, working it and working it and working it. It's just, to me, it's like working with any kind of colored pencils. It's a constant, to me, art is a constant evaluation. Color, look, evaluate, color, because painting works like that too. Nobody just, paints from start to finish without pausing to look at it, make little additions, subtractions, add things here, add things there. Change a color, change a line, add an extra brush stroke. Pretty much a good dry brush there. Oops. That is actually a whisker there. Buffering on and off. Cookies and milk. Yum. I have been eating way too many carbs. It makes me sleepy all the time. Because it's so much easier to make two slices of toast than it is to thaw out, you know, to thaw something from the freezer. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that. We are off to a start. I just want to give a hint that our little guy is sort of a, he's because all of the dragons that I color seem to be color changers. Like they're made, their scales change color in different lights. Like sequins. And this one, this dragon is blue-green. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Victoria Colors. Who all is here? You got string cheese and grapes. Yum. I love both of those. Oh, the Art Sherpa is live. Thank you, Victoria. See here. Okay. Deb and Victoria, Gary, and Jerry Ann. And, okay. I haven't seen. All right. We're down to 16 folks, which means that people have bailed. Somebody has gone. Now we're at 15. Okay, and Katie, if you're by chance still listening, bye. Let's see, we lost Katie to buffering. In that case, then, guys, since there are 16 of you, and as much as I love to, it doesn't matter to me if it's a big audience or a small one. Obviously, there is something going on that made everybody leave. So I am going to go ahead and sign out on this piece. I will continue working on him during the week and hopefully post some follow-up videos about this and what I did, along with some other things. So let me pop this in one last time for anybody that wasn't here when we put it in the first time. That is the Easter egg, which is a 25% discount off anything in the store. That includes the new dragons. It includes all of the books. It includes the new 40 fan favorites and the new mandala book, as well as all 8 of the existing books. So if you love mandalas and would like to color some of mine, book is for you. And it's the best of, and it's available. And then 40 fan favorites as well. It's got all the pictures, or 5 of the fan favorite pictures from each of my 8 books are in all of these. That was a work in progress fail. And then there was something that we worked on that was, oh, there it is. That was a great success. That actually was a great success. And one of my favorite things that I actually colored from this book so far. What's that one? Oh, that's the other one. Okay. I didn't realize I did those back to back. Anyway. And then, of course, look for the how we got from where we left it on Sunday to this video, which will pop up, if not later tonight, then sometime tomorrow. Like I say, it's a 2-hour video. It takes about 8 hours to render. So in my editor, but this is just gorgeous, and it was so fun to do the metal work and all of that. Figure out each piece as I was going along and what I wanted to do with it. And okay, I'm ready. Trying to figure out what is going on. And to everybody, I would like to say a special thank you to my friend Shannon for making this wonderful sign, which I have now used twice today. It is just perfect for my channel. And so, Shannon, please know how much I very, very much I appreciate that every single time. Excuse me. Bye, everybody. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday. I'll see you out in streams. Thank you so much for coming today. Until we meet again, please color something pretty. Bye.